there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking, what is Carlos King's worst moment of 2024? Anything I say is a legend of my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is ever personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. You guys, you thought we were going to end 2024 with not one last drag of Carlos King and the epic fail of a year that he has had, you guys. Now, we're not going to go in any particular order, and there might even perhaps be a thing or two that I might have even forget when it's all said and done. But I just wanted to do a rapid fire from what I can remember off the top of my head of this year that was just several L's as it pertains to Carlos King. We've got to talk about it, you guys, because I have never seen, this many L's, this many faux pas, this many, are you kidding me, F around and find out situations happen to one person in one calendar year. This has to be a record, you guys. Has to be a record. But I will talk about what kicked off in January of 2024, and that was Mel and Carlos King having his Reality with the King debut live in person. Mel told him directly to his face, I felt unprotected. I felt that you knew about some of the things that was happening to me on set, what my ex-husband was doing to me on and off camera. I had to hire extra security. All these things, I thought you knew about it. You just didn't give a... Like, basically, that's what she said. And she was emotional, demanded for Martel to get fired. And Carlos was like, well, I'm not as involved. Raindrops, I'm not as involved with the show, which we all know to be that's complete and utter hogwash now. And proceeded to, of course, bring out Sonny and Moses. But that kicked off an avalanche of, all types of misses, all types of just things that went wrong. And we got to talk about it because I think Carlos King really thought that he could do whatever he wants and nobody was going to say anything. Also, Carlos King, he blew up on YouTube. And he, had the Messy Monday show with Dr. Heavenly, except for Dr. Heavenly ended up quitting Messy Mondays. She tried to have the audacity and claim it was the millimeters and that she's not about to break up a black family and all this and that. But if it was just Love and Marriage Huntsville, why couldn't you stay on for Messy Mondays and just do other reporting on other shows that were on Bravo? Like that's how you tell on yourself. You wanted no affiliation with Carlos King. Now, you're going to maintain a level of professionalism. You're not going to drag him for real out here in these streets because you're in, to an extent, the same circles. And the Black Reality TV family needs to stick together, right? But it was a problem. Here's the thing with Carlos. Carlos, I don't feel like, and really when Love and Marriage Huntsville came back this season, Carlos King felt he needed to be like Diddy, like what Suge Knight said. He needed to be all up in the video. He wants to be the star of these shows. There's a reason that he's the only producer that I know. Even Tyler Perry doesn't do this, where they're like, I'm the creator, I'm the producer, I'm da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, we know who you are, Carlos. We're aware. We can see the credits. We can read. Like, what? It's like he's continuously trying to prove something to the people. That this is what I have, this is what I own. But when things go completely haywire, you're nowhere to be found. Or you like to erase the evidence like the Soguchi interview. So anyways... There's so many things that went wrong, you guys. A lot of the protection of the black men that I have never seen to this level before, of literally protecting the black men who have been misogynistic, who have been cheaters, who are getting arrested left and right, and they are being presented as the victims, you guys.
they're being presented as people who are being set up and taken advantage of, and that black women are out to get them, you guys. Can you make it make sense? It's just the audacity for me. It is the audacity for me, you guys. Also, Carlos King, this Messy Monday show, which eventually transitioned into Mr. Monday, was supposed to be a review show. But the problem was that whether Dr. Heavenly was on or not, you can't review your own show without there being some type of personal bias. You know these cast members. You've spent extensive time with them. Some of them you're closer with than others. So it was never going to be a fair opinion of the shows, of the episodes. And it was always set up every single week to where everyone in your chat was going after Mel, whether she was on the episode or not, whether the topic was Love and Marriage Huntsville or not. And you did nothing to stop it. But you are actively creating, because you want to be known as the creator, right? You're creating a show, you're creating a season where you wanted Mel to, condemn the Melimeters and the Mel supporters. But you couldn't even condemn your own chat. That this was not the energy you were trying to present. This was not the narrative you're trying to present. You never stopped the negative energy, but had it been anyone else, if it was Stormy, if it was the Scotts, you go on a tangent and say, this is what's wrong with the fans. There's about 10 of them. They go too far, da-da-da-da-da. But what about the things that you've allowed to go too far, Carlos, that you never intervened to stop? Your shows have been off the rails for quite some time. So try to act brand new and, again, take zero accountability. It is rich. And then we have your own cast members of your shows coming on to your Mr. Mondays and completely dragging you. You're like, oh, Dr. Heavenly's gone. I'll replace it with my own cast members. Except for they came on to drag you, even the people who are still going to remain on the show, such as Latrice and Kimmy. Latrice called you out for editing a lot of things out and not showing the full narrative, and we know that you don't like when people say that your shows are edited. And then Kimmy called you out for saying she still feels like a redheaded stepchild and that your preference and your first love is still Bravo. Imagine you brag that Love and Marriage Huntsville is the number one show on OWN, but your own cast members of said number one show don't even feel like they're being treated like the number one show. Like, where was their premiere party, Carlos? Where was their flowers that were sent to them for the holidays like you sent to Bell Collective? Like it's all of this foolishness. You play too many favorites. What happened? If you're going to praise one of your shows, praise them all. If you're going to do a premiere party for one show, do a premiere party for them all. You did a premiere party for Detroit. You did a premiere party for Bell Collective. And you previously had a premiere party for DC. Where was this one? Where's the one for your number one show on OWN? When's the last time that's happened? People pay attention to that stuff, Carlos. It just makes zero sense. Why you try to brag, you want to use the show as an anchor to brag that it's quote unquote the number one show, but your own cast feels like they're being treated like crap. And your own cast is calling you out and saying you're utilizing these Messy Monday shows, these Mr. Monday shows, to drag them. And you allegedly threw Shanita under the bus. Because people put two and two together when you said that you saw somebody, you're both Detroit natives, and you both were allegedly at the Fred Hammond concert, that a fan misinterpreted something that you said on your platform, and they listened to it and they said that's just Carlos being Carlos. I don't know if I think that that's how the conversation went exactly. But see, the thing is, the problem is, you know that if anybody tries to call you out or refute these conversations, Carlos, you're going to gaslight them like you did So Gucci. You're going to gaslight them like you did Akeisha. So that's not going to work either. But then, the climax of it all was Akeisha quitting on your platform, on your show, Carlos. And she wasn't even there for the interview. She came in at the tail end and was like, listen, these are the projects I've got going on. These are the booked and busy events I've got going on. And oh, by the way, Carlos, by the way, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I quit. We got our pickup letters, but the colognes will not be returning. We got our pickup letters, but you're not going to see us in season 6. We got our pickup letters, but Kingdom Reign Entertainment's going to be hearing from our attorneys. And we wanted you to hear it first, so you couldn't hear it anywhere else. I don't know, you guys. That might have been the worst. That might have been the pinnacle. I don't know. You'll have to let me know in the comments what you feel is the worst moment for Carlos King this year. As much as he likes to hype up these reality TV shows and hype up these cast members, as long as they're following, what he wants them to do and staying in line. And let's talk about the disastrous of the casting that took place on Love and Marriage Huntsville, where it just caused nothing but backlash that Carlos King basically had to, basically redo a completely new season in the middle of the year. Like, there's so many things to point to. His former cast members, Monique Winter from Love and Marriage DC, going viral for a lot of the things that they said about their experiences on the show and their experiences with different people in production. Akeisha calling out how she was not happy with the baby twerk that was featured a part of the opening credits for Bell Collective. She called it out, did a tweet and everything, and they did not remove it. Akeisha and Soguchi calling out Carlos King on his Mr. Monday show about him saying that Selena was not supposed to be a Belle and she was going to be a friend of, and that was not the case. And Carlos King tried to gaslight them and make it seem like that they didn't have the story correct. This is what I mean when I say Carlos King has too close of a personal relationship with some of these cast members, is he likes to be messy behind the scenes as well. He likes to gossip about these other cast members, especially with certain cast members that he knows are not on good terms with certain people. And then when it gets brought to the forefront, he wants to act like you told a lie on him. That's what I mean. There's no boundaries. There's no level of professionalism. And that is why so many people are bold to just up here and quit on your platform in front of a bunch of people. And why people are able now to just go ahead and do interviews and say whatever they want to say about you at this point, because this is the environment that you've created, Carlos. And then all the breaks in the show this year, especially for Love and Marriage Huntsville. And you have your own cast members, such as Marceau, going in on the Millimeters, calling them deplorables. You have Stormy quitting the show after wasting the first half of the season trying to go in on Millimeters. It's lame. And then you still have an environment where this is the only show, by the way, Love and Marriage Huntsville, where the family members who are not even on the show are keeping mess and drama going about things that have nothing to do with them, storylines that have nothing to do with them, things on the show that have nothing to do with them. And then when you call it out, they act like you don't know. They that you're just coming up with stuff without a thin air, like you've just completely made something up. They don't see any problem with it because they think, oh, well, I have a platform. No! Wrong answer. If you're going to use your platform to just slander certain people in the cast, you're not helping the show either. How are you going to tell people to watch the show, but then bash one of the stars of the show? It's counterproductive. Make it make sense. But nonetheless, when Carlos King decided that he was just going to allow social media to completely infiltrate and take over his shows, I mean, that was the beginning of the end. But really, a lot of the negativity, especially as it pertains to Love and Marriage Huntsville, could have been avoided had you just got rid of Martell the moment he got arrested. And my thing is, what does Martell have on y'all that y'all are so scared to cross him? It was embarrassing seeing Maurice even trying to manipulate Martell and thinking that he could, get away with bashing Mel and that Martell was just going to be cool with that, only for Martell to say in a scene later, I still love Mel when it's all said and done, no matter how bad things are between us. So, nonetheless, there's so many places we can go, you guys. What was the biggest L of Carlos King's 2024? And I would argue that, and this is the thing too, him constantly telling the people he does not pay attention to what people say about him, only for him to basically regurgitate what people have said about him. Saying that there's a social media manager who is in charge of his social media accounts, only for you to know exactly that it's Carlos King that is tweeting from his own account, that is posting from his own Instagram account. So what social media manager are you talking about? And then anytime the ratings were low or too low to report, out of nowhere, an article comes out of thin air about some linear L3 ratings, about the demographics of black women on your shows, but still does not point to the real low ratings. Everything's been a deflection, and still to this day, where is the press release that Love and Marriage Huntsville has been renewed? I have only seen a press release for Bell Collective. Make it make sense, but there is a lot that we can go to. There's so many semantics. There's so many smoke and mirrors. What do you think Carlos King's biggest L was? Was it the conclusion of the year of Aikisha and Soguchi quitting his show, Bell Collective back to back? Was it Mel kicking off the year that, she felt unprotected and it created a snowball effect of Carlos King just taking it and just deciding he's going to make the millimeters the issues for the first half of the season? Is it Stormy quitting? Is it Dr. Heavenly quitting Messy Mondays? Is it, Monique and Winter exposing some of the behind the scenes stuff that goes on with production? Is it Marie, Aikisha, and Soguchi exposing Carlos King? What was the biggest L for Carlos King this year? Let me know in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.